Here we have a very special unboxing of a very limited edition card. That's right, even more limited edition than the GTX 590, which is very, very hard to find these days. Features two GTX 580 GPUs, but the GTX 590 has those GPUs underclocked in order to meet the thermal and power targets of that particular product, as well as to increase the yields. On the one that I have with me here today, no such thing has been done. This is not a GTX 590. Because unlike the GTX 590, this not only has all of the CUDA cores enabled, but it is running at full GTX 580 clock speeds, which makes it more of a GeForce GTX 580 SLI. But it's still on a single card. This is the Mars 2 from ASUS. This is a Republic of Gamers branded product, and it better be for the price point. It has PhysX 3D Vision, including 3D Vision Surround, because it has dual GPUs. It supports NVIDIA CUDA as well as NVIDIA SLI. Yes, in theory, you could run two of these monsters on a single motherboard in quad SLI with 4 GPUs. Let's open this bad boy up and have a look at what ASUS has to say for themselves about it. So they're saying it is 22% faster than the GTX 590. Okay, with 3 gigs of GDDR5 memory. That's 1.5 gigs per GPU. It supports their GPU tweak utility, which allows you to adjust the core and memory clocks, core voltage, and fan speeds. It features a direct CU2 cooler, which apparently uses two 120 mil fans for 600% more airflow than a generic GTX 590. It also has 21 phase power delivery. Wow, okay, which allows it to deliver 15% performance boost with a 2.5 times longer lifespan and 35-degree cooler operation. Pretty neat. All right, let's go ahead and flip this over, see if there's anything that they have on the back that they do not have on the front. Aha! Minimum recommended system power is no less than 1,000 watts. Now that's a little absurd. There's no way this card pulls 1,000 watts of power. In fact, even with two of them in a system, you could probably power it with a 1,000 watt power supply. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. It requires two 8-pin power cables. It has a maximum resolution, 25, aha, there's the engine clock. So 782 megahertz and then 4 gigahertz on the memory with 3 gigs of RAM. Let's go ahead and get this opened up and have a look at the card you've all been waiting to see since you pressed the button to watch this video. Oops. That's all good. It's just the box. If I rip the card, then we'd be having a different conversation. Alright, this thing is huge, although I've come to expect that from ASUS Republic of Gamers graphics cards. Sure, we're going to do the old iPhone size comparison. You know what? Why don't we hold off until just a couple more minutes until we have a chance to take the card out. So, here's a little custom engraved serial number thing. Maybe it's a sticker. No, it's not a sticker. This document certifies that the limited edition Mars 2 is a unique work of art designed by the ASUS ROG team. Right there. So this is number 536 of 999. That is how many of these cards were produced worldwide. So there are not very many of them in existence. Adapters included. We've got a couple of dual 6-pin to 8-pin power adapters. Honestly though, if you don't have a proper power supply, do not buy this graphics card. Or buy this graphics card and also buy a power supply. Right here. This exclusive ASUS PCIe sustainer for the Mars 2 ensures a perfect fit and increased stability to protect the integrity of your motherboard and PCI Express 2.0 slot. Okay. Oh, neat. Okay, so you take this and you put it on the third PCIe or PCI slot, and what it does is it keeps the card. Okay, you know what? I'll explain it once I have the card in my hand because that'll be easier, but that's cool. Okay, we have an SLI bridge. We have a DVI to VGA adapter, although honestly, if you're running a VGA monitor and this graphics card, then like get with the program. Okay, let's go ahead and... Did I say 2 PCIe 8-pin connectors? Because I meant 3, I guess. Okay, we've got some documentation here. Okay, we have a Republic of Gamers sticker, as well as a driver and manual and a speed setup. So a quick start guide, I guess is what they mean by that. And finally, the graphics card itself. So first things first, let's do the iPhone size comparison. So there's the, you know what? It's as thick as an iPhone is wide. So that is a triple slot card. All right, we're gonna go ahead and lay it down gently. Whoa, it's heavy. Okay, so there's the size compared to an iPhone. This is a very, very long graphics card. All right, it is also significantly taller than a normal graphics card. So honestly, I don't even know where to start with this thing. Yeah, let's do the GTX 590 size comparison. So if we take the GTX 590 and lay it on top of it, remember, GTX 590 is a big card. Actually, I'll be back in a sec. I want to show you one other one. All right, so there it is with the 590, but I realized the 590 is so much smaller that it just dwarfs it. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take the largest graphics card that I have. This is a Radeon 6990, and you can see that it is even longer than a Radeon 6990. So before you even consider putting one of these cards in your system, make sure you have enough, oh yeah, you know what, not just length, but make sure you have enough height clearance. Like if you have a side fan or something like that, you might end up having to move it unless you have a very, very large case. So, oh my goodness, it's actually really heavy. So why don't we start with the front of the card. So we've got our dual 120mm fans. Now these are not wussy 120mm fans. These are case fans. These are not like slim ones. Look at the size of the hubs on them. So these are going to be blowing air downward onto the heat pipes, okay, the heat pipe fins here, and then further down onto the PCB. So each GPU is actually cooled by 4 heat pipes. Can you see those heat pipes in there? All right, so those are drawing heat away from the GPU itself, up into the fins, and then you can see there's actually 2 separate heat sinks that are mounted directly onto the GPUs themselves. So here you can see the other heat pipes right there, and then the other heat pipe fins, and then in the middle, there's actually a total separation between those 2 units. So the way they're assembling this card is they're in all likelihood attaching those top 2, and then they're fitting the shroud over top of it. So the shroud fits here onto the back plate. So the back plate goes on, okay, that screws into those heat sinks, okay, and then you're screwing this shroud on, and then finally you're attaching the aluminum. This looks like, how many pieces of aluminum is this? Okay, it's a couple different pieces, but this is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of aluminum all fitted together and then attached to that shroud, just to make it more of a sort of work of art really than just a functional graphics card. So let's have a look at the back of it. Whoa. All right, on the back, you see we have a back plate, which says Republic of Gamers, Mars 2. It is oriented correctly so that once the card is installed in your case, you will be able to read it on the top. You've also got your serial number on there as well. You've got most of the power delivery and some RAM and whatnots is all located on the back of the card, but you can't really see them because of the backplate. It uses a standard PCI Express 2.0 16X slot and also uses a standard SLI connector. That's about the only thing about this card that is standard. Moving along to the top, actually here, I'm going to keep it oriented this way. Sorry guys, this thing's so heavy, it's actually really hard to hold. Okay, we've got Republic of Gamers, Mars 2, we've got a splitter here. So both of our fans are running off 4-pin PWM power. We've got our limited edition, and then 4 PCI Express 8-pin connectors. Yes, 4. We've also got like a turbo fan speed button here, so we can ramp those fans up to 100% speed just with the touch of a button if you don't want it to be automatically managed and you want to overclock as much as possible. Let's move around to, let's look at the back of the card. We haven't really done that yet. So at the back, we've just got some holes in the shroud, and that's pretty much it. There's not really much to cool back there because I don't know if you guys noticed this, but check this out. The card actually ends here. See? That's the end of the PCB. So this extra bit here doesn't really have much functional purpose. which is interesting. Okay, let's move around to the bottom. So at the bottom you can see we've got a lot of room for airflow to come off the card. So it looks like what ASUS is intending is for these 120mm fans to be blowing air out the top of the card, as well as the bottom of the card, the back of the card, and the other more different back of the card. So I guess that's the front of the card. So that's going to give your motherboard some cooling, okay, just some incidental airflow coming off the card. You can actually see some of the RAM chips down here as well. And finally, let's move around to the back. So in terms of our display options, we have DVI, we have HDMI, and we have DisplayPort. Now, ASUS hasn't specifically called out support for 3D Vision Surround. So you know what, maybe if someone knows if it supports it, go ahead and post in the comments. But my guess would be that it does support it, but you would probably have to use DVI DisplayPort? Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, someone post in the comments. Let's see what you guys know. Oh, here's an interesting one. If you are planning to use two Mars 2s for Quad SLI, the Rampage 3 Extreme or Rampage 3 Extreme Black Edition is required. This is recommended for the best performance via dual 16x PCIe and the best cooling operation, because remember, with a triple slot card, you're going to need a fair number of slots in between your two 16x slots in order to make both of the cards fit in your system. So other than that, you know what, let's just do a couple more shots of this. So yeah, we'll just take a little bit more footage of it, and actually I forgot to tell you guys what these little stoppers were for. So these little stoppers go on the slots next to the Mars 2 so that the weight of the Mars 2 doesn't cause unnecessary strain on the PCI Express slot that it is installed in. So I'll show you how that would work. So you would go ahead and you would install the stoppers on this card, or on this slot right here, and then you install the Mars 2 into this slot, and see how that weight is going to pull down? Well, that stopper keeps it from flexing so much. So that's the thinking behind those little black strips. So I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for checking out my unboxing of the Mars 2 from ASUS, and don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos.